Welcome to the Monday markets, and I can tell you it was a better day on the markets after a very brutal 7 weeks. For 7 weeks straight, markets have generally been falling around the world. The Dow Jones Industrial Average in the United States has seen the longest stretch of weekly losses since 1932, if you can believe. And one US market dipped into bear market territory at the end of last week. So that means it was roughly down about 20% from a recent high. So what has been driving the falls? Well, a few things, including inflation, rising interest rates. We're seeing that here in South Africa. The war in Ukraine, China's slowing economy, and the effect of the lockdowns in China. That is all raising fears about a possible recession in the US. And of course, given what happened last time, that is a concern for us here at home. So let's see how things started to pick up today. And we can bring up the JSE behind me. And welcome, by the way, to Tshepo, our economics editor. We'll be with you shortly. 1.17% is the all-share index. So this was really in line with global markets today, all rising. And you can see that all the boards on the JSE are up in the black today. 2.88% for resource stocks, nearly up 3%. And that is a world trend. Resource stocks are doing very well. And we're seeing that the gold price is up, the platinum price up, so the dollar retreating and looking all pretty good. But the question is this a trend? Will we see markets turning around the world? At home, the rand also stronger, but we'll have to wait and see if this is a long-term trend or something of a relief rally, as it's been called. All right, let's turn to our economics editor, and it's our Monday date with Tshepo Mongoai, economics editor. And today we're looking at the township economies. So we're looking at two new pieces of legislation in Gauteng and how they plan to transform the informal sector, the new informal trade policy by the city of Joburg and the Township Economic Development Act by the provincial government. What do they mean? Welcome to you, Tshepo. Great to have you with us as always.
It's a pleasure.
Let's start with the sad situation. I mean, so township economies, we know that the problem is that people don't buy a lot of their goods in townships, so they go and support businesses elsewhere rather than building up township economies or businesses. Government has been talking about this for years, so I don't think we're doing very well.
Well, we're not doing well in terms of mobilizing and galvanizing on ensuring that businesses in the township actually benefit from what has been demonstrated as a huge buying power in the township. If you speak to major retailers today, they would tell you that their best performing stores are actually in the township. So that tells you that there is huge business.
But that's the big retailers, not the little guys getting that spend.
Absolutely. So there are no synergies at all. And unfortunately, the two pieces of legislation, the city of Johannesburg is talking about the informal trading policy, and the province is also talking about the township economic development. They are not stressing the synergy and galvanizing on that already big retailers are doing. And sadly, those two pieces of legislation are not talking to one another.
Why do you say they're not in sync?
I think it could be politics, because if you look at the city of Johannesburg, which is led mainly by the DA, and then the province is the ANC, they have different approach to issues. This despite the fact that the informal trade policy actually started when Pakster was still the mayor. He contributed a lot to the development of that law, and for the longest time, I mean, he had huge inputs in shaping it, but today, unfortunately, he doesn't show much interest in it. What they have done as the province, as the economic development department, they came up with the legislation to ensure that there is an overarching law that deals with the very same issues that the province is trying to address at the moment. But there are no synergies at all. What came about because of those legislations, because they were trying to address the issue of illegal immigrants. But my concern is that what the province is trying to do with the township economic development is saying that businesses in the township must all formalize. They're working with SARS to make sure that there are tax breaks. They are working with various agencies like the IDC to make funding available. But we know that it's not all businesses that actually want to formalize. I mean, for various reasons. Compliance is one issue. There are business people who are comfortable being there. So they need...
Some people don't want to jump through all the hoops, and we admit in South Africa there's still too much red tape.
Absolutely, because the compliance, I mean, people who are backyard dwellers, there are those who are saying that, you know, obviously once they start to formalize, the costs would increase. And we know there are people who are actually cutting the corners when it comes to paying for certain services that they should, and they are generating money from the back. But the point is, there should be a way of ensuring that there are opportunities for them, although they are not formalized, have decent space for them, but support them as well, not to just say we want all of you to be formalized and then use, as they are, use the carrot and stick, which is the bylaws as a stick, and the carrot to say that there will be opportunities for you once you actually comply with the laws.
Okay, so it's been seen as a bit of a blunt approach. Let's talk about the very controversial issue of how foreign nationals are being dealt with. I actually spoke to the city and they said they wanted to bar foreigners from sidewalk trading, but that was actually unconstitutional. So all they're going to do, and they were unashamed about it, we're going to prioritize South Africans for new permits or lots or things like that. How does that align or misalign with what the province is doing? The province is saying that when people are moved from the streets, I mean, they are raising the same issues in terms of people who are trading everywhere, the issue of undocumented foreigners. Once they are removed from the streets, there's going to be support for them. They must formalize. They must register their businesses. The city is stressing the issue of designated areas, that they must be removed, and there will be special areas where these people will be able to conduct their businesses. But there's less emphasis on the support that these people are going to receive. I mean, there are issues of concern whether those spaces would actually be where they want to trade. There are a whole lot of businesses that have emerged that are informal in the city, whether those spaces, I mean, would be able to accommodate such businesses. I mean, if you go to the CBD, you find people slaughtering, you know, on the side of the road, things like that. I mean, there are a whole lot of dynamics in terms of informal businesses. Will those spaces be able to deal with those things? And I know the issue of health hazards, but when you move those people, are you not killing their businesses? Will you accommodate what they are doing? And there is a market for the business that they are doing. And will they be able to stay close to their customers and the base that they've built up? This raises a whole lot of issues. Let's chat again and monitor what both these pieces of legislation do around trying to sort of revitalize the informal sector, and specifically the township economy. And that was our Monday date with Tshepo Mongoai, SABC News' economics editor.